If you're anything like me, you probably started your musical journey performing in bands, visiting rehearsal rooms, and then graduated to playing gigs and maybe even recording albums in studios. And I think ever since the pandemic, I've had this lingering feeling of isolation. If you work from home, you might side with this. I'm much older now. A lot of my friends have other commitments. They have children, and I don't expect my old collaborator friends to squeeze in rehearsal time into their busy schedule. And that's where this week I struck gold. If you've seen my previous episodes, then you probably noticed that I host a monthly beat battle over at Beat Connect. And I found out in their side tab, they have a download section for an early access mDAW or multiplayer DAW. Oh, there you are. This is a bit exciting. I quickly hopped on the blower to my friend Kaio, who also has a YouTube channel linked in the description below, to see if we could cook up a beat in real time, and we had an absolute blast. Do you want to do melodies and I'll start with some drums?
Yeah. Do you want me to? I'll drop some like chords in or something and then we can just sort of build it.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're probably expecting the same old thing. We have a chat box in here that we can write in, we can send our messages, and we can attach some files. But more excitingly, we're met with a Zoom-like interface which captures our audio and video in real time, so we can actually hang out with our band members and see what we're working on and make those final edits in real time together. When you hop into the mDAW, you're met with the grid. This is where you can find all of your studio spaces or projects. It kind of reminded me of the old days when I would dip my head into different studio rooms and see what sessions my friends were cooking up. I can't underline how fun it was just to noodle away at music whilst chatting to my buddy. So how are you finding your YouTube journey so far? When did you start?
I started properly posting and making YouTube videos like March. So not long, like a few months.
Yeah.
And it's nice, man. I really like it. The thing that I kind of really like about it is the sort of community side of it, I guess the social part of it. People are engaged and comment and respond to things. Whereas on, say, Instagram, you just kind of get a like and that's it.
And I can't lie, some of that fun was also in pinching your friend's track that they'd just created too.
I have put on, I don't know, there's nothing on that track anyway. I'll take it.
Yeah, you take it. It's fair game.
Steal it. Right, so if I hit play, we should be able to hear this. I think I need to change one of the last chord or something, but that's fine.
We got it.
But I think that took 5 minutes, if that.
I'm not really sure how they created this, but you're able to introduce your own third-party VSTs. Come up to the settings cog, choose audio, come down to open manager, and you can install all of your third-party VST3s, VSTs, and audio units right inside Beat Connect. And even if your collaborator doesn't have that VST, they can see and hear everything that you're doing in real time. That could be a nice little kind of addition with maybe a little reverb. That's probably a bit sharp. Oh, maybe like a kind of like a Calimbri sign thing.
Yeah, that was nice. That's a nice sound.
I know that I sound like a broken record, but it was a very familiar feeling to have my bandmates there when I cycle through sounds and them take a back seat on whether that was the right or wrong patch for the song we were creating. Furthermore, I found out that if you both share the same third-party plugin, you can both interact with it at the same time and you get that visual and audio feedback in real time too.
Let's add some, I'm going to add some plugins to it. Let's see what.
Well, let me show you this then.
Oh, yeah, go on.
So what we're going to do, go to the plus and bring up Valhalla Supermassive. We both have that, right? Supermassive.
Yeah.
And then if you pull up Supermassive, hopefully when I turn delay, you can see delay turning.
I can see it. Yeah, I can see it all.
This moving. Is it. And then wait, you do something.
Oh, that's so cool. Right.
Oh, see the mix he's moving. Messing with the mix.
See how that is cool.
That's cool, right?
That's nice.
Was there a catalyst that made you dive into YouTube?
I just sort of wanted to, not last year, the year before, essentially to start taking music a little bit more seriously. It's something I've always been doing in some like shape or form. Say when I was growing up, I think similar to you, I was like playing in bands and playing gigs, and really it's been a huge part of my life. So I kind of couldn't just stop when I stopped playing in bands, and then fell into producing.
How many collabs do you have under your belt for your like Spotify stuff?
Not many.
Not many?
Not many. Over the last couple of years, worked on a fair few, but ones that have actually seen the light of day, probably only like 2 or 3.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it's not necessarily something I do too often, but it's definitely something that I would like to do more of. And I think when you find people that are into the same thing as you, it probably is much easier.
You can download BeatConnect's mDAW in the side tab to beatconnect.com's website. It's still in early access beta, which is a good thing. It means they're super responsive to any feedback you have. It doesn't really matter how zany or minimal that feedback is. I dropped them a couple of notes on some bugs that I found and also some integrations that I'd like to see. And they were super responsive, which is really refreshing in today's musical climate. Kaio also has his own YouTube channel. I've linked it in the description below. He focuses on lo-fi beat making in FL Studio. If you're a fan of my stuff, I'm sure you'll enjoy his. Do give him a subscribe. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to know if you've jumped into this ahead of me or if you're going to check it out later. Do you think that this could replace the rehearsal room, just be a good alternative, or will you not be touching it with a barge pole? I'll see you guys next week for another video. Thanks as always for stopping by. I'll catch you soon.